Future State Justice League, issue number 2. A very fun conclusion, in my opinion. This really wrapped up the 2-issue arc well, but man, I'm so excited to talk about the Justice League Dark story. So it's weird that I'm like, the backup was so good, I want to talk about the backup, but I do also want to talk about the actual issue of Justice League here, because I really enjoyed it. This, again, it's very much a 90s story where it's like, that's the era Williamson knows well. So he's like, I'm going to homage that in a big way. The hyperclan's here. Everything you love about the White Martians, boom, they're here to stay. But I'm also going to tell a story about, like, the importance of friendship between superheroes, which is kind of fun. So when we open up this book, we see that our new hyperclan Justice League is just sweeping through the nation, taking it by storm. Everybody's obsessed with them. They're being loved by millions. We're like, man, the world loves the Justice League. It's so easy to kidnap humans when everybody trusts you. You're like, oh, that's fun. But he's like, since we killed the Justice League and the Legion of Doom, we're here to do our real bidding, and we can finally start our plan of the real world. Everything is coming up hyperclan. It's all going so well. I can't believe we did it, everyone's saying. And then cut to a random Earth where our real Justice League is. Because, you know, when they say, we killed the Justice League, they didn't actually kill the Justice League. What are you guys talking about? All they did was send them to another universe in the multiverse where they can't escape from. And we'll find out they can, because it's a Justice League book. Of course. So our whole team's like, okay, nothing can live here. It's all confusing. Everything's bad. Aquawoman can't find any water. Superman's like, my powers are draining because of it. They find some weird scribblings on a wall that said it's Martian. But they're like, this place is really interesting and weird. And everyone's starting to like get a little tense and fighting each other. One of the things that we see is that Batman and Superman are kind of going at odds. Of course they would, because nobody really knows how you can trust who's a Martian and who's not. And everyone's like, well, you've been hiding secrets for years, Batman, so maybe if you just told us who you were. And Batman's like, well, why don't you tell me who you are? I know who the humans are here, you crazy sons of bitches. And I like it. Everyone's starting to like come up with like their little reasons as to why I know you're not a Martian and why everything's going together. So it's things like, when Yara gets stressed out, she bites her lip. Or it's like when Joe gets a little too cocky, she starts making more elaborate constructs, and things like Batman hums to himself when they're fighting sometimes. Or how Aquawoman, you know, talks in her sleep, and how Andy knows, you know, a lot about Jess, and all this kind of stuff going on together. And everyone's trying to trust each other, and they know little things about that. It might not make you connected or feel important as friends, but you know that they're all the people they're supposed to be, and that's kind of interesting. They're just like, this is a fun thing to do. But of course, it's Batman who's like, you know, Flash, you're not even from this Earth, so maybe you've been a Martian this whole time, and you were working with them. And Flash is getting pissed off, like, really? Shut up. And it's kind of Andy who steps in, like, don't talk to them like that, you son of a bitch. And we realize this has been a power that Flash could have done before. So this Flash has the ability that they can open, like, this weird power thing to help people run across the multiverse. So they spread their power across the Justice League, and it gives them enough Speed Force energy to run across the multiverse. So we see that they open up a way to get back to their Earth, and that's kind of fun. I like that a lot. And we see on our regular Earth that the hyperclan, the leader of it, is just like, I'm revealing myself to the world. It's Proteus, I think is how you'd say that name. And he's just like, it's all going according to plan. We will be the end of humankind. This is what we are part of. It's going to be fun. Everything's going to work out. And it's going to be so great for all of us. Don't even worry about it, other hyperclan people. It's going to be great. But in comes the regular Justice League. After figuring out they can trust each other and find a way home, they come in to battle their people. And, you know, they use the skills they just learned to fight each other. You see the people are building constructs. You know, the Flash can do a certain thing. Aquawoman's the only one that can control water and all that kind of stuff. They're just having fun with that, taking out their villains. You see that Batman's not humming, so Superman's like, you're not the real Batman. Taking everyone down. There's two Flashes fighting inside. Andy comes in like, which one's the real Flash? And she realizes who the real Flash is because it's the one that calls her princess, because only Flash calls her princess. So they take them all down. Batman shows up with this big weird gun, like a flamethrower from the Legion of Doom. He's like, yeah, I think like Ivo and like Moro just stored a bunch of shit here, so I'm going to use this to burn the Martian. And he does, and you're like, oh shit, they just burned a Martian. This Batman's a lunatic. I love it. They defeat it. It's a nice book. I'm really liking it. Like, this was just really nice energy. I enjoyed seeing it a lot. So they're like, we defeated we won the day. Everything's going great. And Superman, who this whole time has been like, man, I wish we could all be friends and hang out more. He's about to fly away and go on, but Joe flies up. He's like, why don't we have dinner, try something new? We could all hang out with each other and get our lives together. So we see that they're going to have dinner and hang out, and everything's going to be revealed. And we cut to a few months later where John is standing in front of the statue of the original Justice League, and Yara's with him. They're like, you ready? We're about to do something bold and new. And everyone's walking into the room. They're about to have lunch and just have their conversation. And it's the first time that we see Batman takes off his cowls, and we see that it's Jace, and it's everybody here. There's Jess, there's Joe, and there's Jace, and then there's John, and then there's Andy and Yara. A lot of J's, a Y, and an A. That's J, baby. That's a bad joke, but whatever. It's fun. I like it. So they're just sitting at the table, about to eat some dinner, just have a fun time with each other, because they're friends now. I kind of hope that Joe stays the leader. That'd be really cool, because she was like the one that was like the first person to detect like the small things between every person or bring it up, and she's kind of the de facto leader, because I don't think it'd be John or Yara, and it's obviously not going to be this Batman, so she's kind of the one that's the default leader. So they're all eating, and they're like, who are we going to recruit to our new version of the Justice League? And we get a picture where it's people like Shiloh Norman and Miss Martian and the daughter of Lobo, and I think Tim Drake. Like, why the hell is it Tim Drake on there already? But that's fun. I liked that. I thought that was kind of cool. Nice little book there. I enjoyed seeing it a lot. These characters are really fun and interesting and enjoyable. I like how Williamson's wrote this. He's just like, yeah, it's a simple story. They're going to learn to trust each other. They're going to defeat the White Martians. There's not much else to it. The writing is as great as always with Williamson. The artwork is very stylized and very cool. It's going to make you happy. But holy cow. You want to talk about what excited me? This backup with the Justice League Dark was literal perfection. I loved every second of it. So we get some narration from Khaled. He's like, I traveled across the deserts and the plains to find a goddess, and the goddess helped me restore some of the power of Naboo to the helmet. And when we rebuilt it, I was able to see this weird vision of a future where Merlin took over and tried to defeat everything, separated a demon from his host. And in that world, I had to hide myself from it, or else I would stop it from happening. And when we cut back to reality, we see that Etrigan is just like, you're lying. There's no way that's what happened. I do not believe that Merlin killed Jason Blood. You cannot be telling me that's the truth. But Khalid's like, it is. I'm sorry to tell you that's what happened, Etrigan. That's just what happened there. You can't stop it. It has already been done. And I'm going to tell you now, you have a path you can choose. You can go down and fight for the good, or you can be the demon that everyone thinks you can be, and you can try to just be more. And he's just like, I can't do this. Obviously, Etrigan doesn't want to do this, but he gets summoned by Bobo, who is the new host of Etrigan. He's like, dude, quit moping. We have friends up there who are literally risking their lives for you to act and do the right thing here. Maybe it's time you get off your ass and do the right thing. And we cut to the big fight happening outside where there's a literal I love that we're getting a lot more dragons in our comics. That's just cool, man. Zatanna's riding a Ragman dragon, Xanadu and John are on the ground. Like, we might actually win this, but John's like, I really doubt that. Don't count your blessings yet, love, is what he's like. And we see one of the knights of Merlin shows up, defeating Dr. Fate. And we see that the person under the helmet is Enchantress. And you're like, damn, you're covering all the bases here, Ram-V. Like, you're just doing great here. And everyone's ready to attack and fight, and Enchantress like, Zatanna, you could have worked with us, and you could have seen the future we're building here. If anyone could do it, it would have been you. But she's like, I have an old friend who told me truth, justice, and the American way, pretty much. But it's Wonder Woman, not Superman. So Enchantress just goes, yeah, okay, that's fine. I guess we'll defeat you now. And it's looking really bad. Everyone's getting attacked by some weird lightning power, and things are falling apart. And we just see that Etrigan is just still inside with Bobo, just like, don't do this to me. We are not a fighter. We cannot defeat this. We are a demon who can do no good. But even if you don't have Jason Blood, Bobo's like, Jason pretty much said, you can do it. Like, his tether to you is not what makes you human or show you humanity. It's how you respond to that action being called there. So maybe if you trust yourself enough, you can actually do the right thing. And as we're seeing all of our characters get defeated, in comes Etrigan to save the day. And I'm just like, this is exactly what I needed, man. I am a hardcore fan of Etrigan the Demon. And just seeing him whipping it out here, just showing how cool he is, taking down Enchantress, taking down a lot of the creatures. It was so cool to see. But then suddenly he is stabbed by an angel's sword, and we see that Merlin is standing overhead with another one of his knights. And Entrogon's just ready to die. And he's just like, I can't believe you killed Jason. And then Merlin's like, I didn't kill Jason. Jason's been here the whole time. And the knight that stabbed Entrogon is Jason Blood. And he's like, you could have seen this, guys. Like, the way Merlin's doing things here, it's the right way. It's the only way that we could have won this. Why can't any of you see that? And it's just a huge conversation, a fight. And as Jason Blood is about to kill the demon who is now defeated and like, I can't win this. I thought I was avenging you. In comes Khalid as Dr. Fate just to be like, stop, spare all of them, end this war, and I will come with you, and I will take the Helmet of Naboo, and I will show you the future, and then we could have this all worked out. And Khalid is like, it's a worthy trade-off if you all get to live. And he kind of says his goodbyes to his friends. He's like, you know, John, everything matters. He's like, Rory, you will rise above your powers. And Z, you brought us together even in this dark hour. We would be lost without you. That's what he's saying. Diana believed in you too. And he's like, remember, guys, there's always hope. There will always be magic when there's hope. And everyone just kind of like watches as Khalid leaves to save them. You're like, that's deep, man. I like that a lot. A great story about Khalid, a great story about Entrogon. Really fun magic, Merlin, dragons, and knights. It was sick, man. On top of a really cool Justice League book about love, loss, and power. Oh, it was so fun. This was a great backup with a great story in it too. It was really fun. I love seeing that future Justice League. Andy Curry remains to be a favorite of mine. Same with Yara Fleur. They're all very fascinating characters. The way they build up the tension between them, the way Williamson just had them fighting with each other, then working together in the larger scheme of things, I thought was really cool. Man, it was fun. Justice League's looking good. The future of Justice League is looking brighter than ever, and I'm very excited for it. We have to be seeing all of these characters making their return somewhere. They're all too good, right? Like, are we going to age them up? Are we going to have more stories set in the future? They're all pretty cool. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw them. So, a very fun book. Very fun Future State tie-in, too. I really enjoyed this a lot. So, very cool. It's going to make you smile. If anything, you're going to be like, that's a fun Justice League story. That's a fun Justice League Dark story. That's how we tell comic books now. Just really fun and interesting and engaging stuff. I really enjoyed it, and I think a lot of you will too. So, Future State Justice League issue number 2, I am going to give a 9 out of 10. Now, thank you guys so much for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, Patreon, Twitter, all that good stuff. And I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.